has to do with the Idaho Federal Emergency Act, basically saying if a woman comes to a hospital and needs life-saving care or critically injured and needs an abortion in order to save an organ or something like that, Idaho right now is air vacuuming these women out of Idaho because the doctors are afraid to perform an abortion in violation of state law.
One of these, and this just stuck with me here, this woman you spoke with, health law and policy professor, says pregnant patients have, quote, become radioactive to emergency departments, unquote, in states with extreme abortion restrictions. They're so scared of a pregnant patient that the emergency medicine staff won't even look. They just want these people gone. That's how urgent it is for women and how concerned hospitals are in these states about the potential legal risk.
Yeah, and what we found, we were able to get back some federal records, complaints, pregnancy-related complaints against hospitals, is that the severity and the number of complaints really went up after states started enacting these abortion bans. And we found cases where medical staff wouldn't look at these pregnant patients when they walked in. They were asking for help and they were turned away and told to drive elsewhere in some cases. But what we do know is that there was a lot of confusion swirling for doctors once these abortion bans were enacted, and that there continues to be some confusion and difficulties in treating these patients when they do present at ERs. Some of the doctors in Idaho have said that they've had to actually airlift patients out of the state to get care because of a new abortion ban that started in January. They've had several instances of that.
This is the reality of women in America. This is why this issue is hurting Trump. This is why it is hurting in elections everywhere, and it's certainly hurting polling. Because women want to be able to, even if they're pregnant, be able to go to the hospital and save an organ and not be air vaxxed out of the hospital. And the Supreme Court is still in the process of deciding whether or not those doctors in Idaho can actually give the abortion to save an organ rather than air vax the hospital. This is something under consideration. This is the state of America.
Abortion, IVF, playing a role. Democrat running on abortion and IVF access wins the special election in Alabama. Maryland lands flipped a state house seat in the deep red state by 25 percentage points, underscoring the continued political potency of reproductive rights. Don't know if that's a canary in the coal mine, but it is interesting in Alabama. If you look at our poll, Katie, best describes the issue's view on abortion, always legal, 35%, mostly legal, 24%. There you see the breakdown.
And Donald Trump himself is not backing down. He won in 2016, promising to do exactly what happened and reverse Roe and take away women's autonomy and rights and healthcare choices over their body. And he saying now that states, if they want, should be able to prosecute women for having an abortion. Yes, criminally prosecute them for making healthcare and really, really difficult personal choices. Prosecute them. And it should be up to the states, according to Trump, to monitor women's pregnancies. Yes, state monitoring.
Tonight, Donald Trump says he won't stand in the way if states want to monitor pregnant women to make sure they comply with abortion bans. And he won't step in to prevent states from prosecuting women who violate those bans by ending their pregnancies. In an interview with Time magazine, Trump was asked, do you think states should monitor women's pregnancies so they can know if they've gotten an abortion after the ban? Trump saying, I think they might do that. Again, you'll have to speak to the individual states. Trump then asked if he'd be comfortable if states prosecute women who get abortions. His response, it's irrelevant whether I'm comfortable or not. It's totally irrelevant because the states are going to make those decisions. In the 2016 campaign, Trump said women who have abortions should be punished.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
He quit